Welcome, readers. Today on Book Chat, we are diving into a very popular YA romance. We are discussing To All the Boys I've Loved Before, the book and its Netflix movie adaptation. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, I'm your host, Tamara Ford, and welcome to Book Chat here on the Shelf Addiction Podcast. Participate in this discussion by joining the Facebook group Shelf Addiction Official. I hope to hear your thoughts on today's topic. You can always find me and Casey on Twitter and Instagram. The links for everything I've mentioned are below in the show notes. If you enjoyed today's episode, please support this podcast by sharing it with some book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. That would really help me out, and I appreciate you for doing so. The uncut video version of this podcast is available now on Patreon. Join us there for exclusive videos, including after shows and more. So if you're interested in that at all, you'll need to come on over to Patreon and sign up. Without further ado, let's get started. We've got a lot to talk about today, so we are going to get to it. Joining me is featured co-host Casey from Heartful of Ink. Welcome back, Casey.
Hello. I'm so happy to be here.
Yay, I'm glad you're here too. This should be a fun discussion. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes,
all
that'll
right.
Be good.
Yes, because you guys, today we are in the Valentine's Day spirit. We are chatting about a romance, a YA title, To All the Boys I've Loved Before by Jenny Han. This infamous book that everyone loved in 2014 and 15 and 16 and 17. And we are talking about its Netflix adaptation. So, here are the book stats for your information. It comes in at 355 pages, hardcover, first published April 15th, 2014 by Simon & Schuster, Books for Young Readers, and recorded books. The audiobook comes in at 8 hours and 44 minutes. It is narrated by Ali An. How about the synopsis, please?
The synopsis. 16-year-old Laura Jean Song keeps her love letters in a hat box her mother gave her. They aren't love letters that anyone else wrote for her. These are ones she's written. One for every boy she's ever loved, 5 in all. When she writes, she pours out her heart and soul and says all of the things she would never say in real life because her letters are for her eyes only. Until the day her secret letters are mailed, and suddenly Laura Jean's love life goes from imaginary to out of control.
All right. So you guys, if you haven't heard of this, you've been like under a rock somewhere. It's won a lot of awards, was won like or had a couple of nominees for, Young Readers Choice Awards, Goodreads Choice Awards, lots of reviews, lots of fangirls and boys. It's fun. So
I started the book and I texted you and I was like, when is the story going to start? When is anything going to happen? The beginning is so ungodly slow.
It is.
Literally nothing happens for the first 20% of the book.
I dare say 30. I mean, it was a lot of nothing.
I mean, it was 25% before the letters got mailed. And then it was a slow start, but the letters are mailed and shit starts going downhill for her then. But the beginning was so slow.
But, I told you, and I mean, I'm at this. So it's okay. So it's two-phase here. I did something with this book that I don't normally do. I don't like to do this. I watched that movie a long time ago, and I watched it more than once. I might have watched that movie 3 times since it came out, to be honest. I thought the movie was super cute, but I had not read the book. So now I'm reading the book, and I'm like, whoa, man. If I had started the book first, I might not have ever seen the movie because I might not have ever finished the book. It was that slow in the beginning.
Oh my God, it was so slow. If I wasn't reading for the podcast, I would have quit. The 3rd or 4th time she made dinner before anything happened. And I was like, Why do we need to watch her make dinner? Why does she need to make cupcakes? Why does she have to do all of this stuff that is really, truly unimportant? And the letters haven't even been mailed yet. Why?
I mean, honestly, I was waiting for Margot to leave. I'm like, how long is she going to stick around in this book? Because I already knew, like, in the movie, she wasn't there that whole time. She was gone most of the time. I'm like, she is annoying. I don't... I'm like, why are she... Everything... Okay, y'all. So everything was kind of out of order compared to the movie. Mm-hmm. The movie really tightened that plot up a lot.
Yes, and it was fantastic.
Yes, because this book had too much random, like, we don't need to know every little thing about everything. Everything about everything.
We don't need an entire chapter of Laura Jean laying on her floor working on a present for her sister for Christmas, even though it's August and she wants to talk about the glitter and the glue and the pictures. Yes. And it was, oh my God, it was annoying.
Yes. And I also, the romance part of it, I didn't think was romance at all in the book. I feel like the author wrote Peter Kavinsky. Good Lord, you know who it is. Peter. I think that the author made him in the book he was a jock in the movie, but he was even more so in the book. He was cheating on tests. He was annoying. He was not very considerate. He was more considerate in the movie to her than he was in the book.
So I have a thought, and I don't know if this will translate well outside of my brain, but I felt like Peter in the book was messy on purpose, almost. He was more realistic in that way. He was more... The word is messy. That's in my brain. He was messy. But then in the movie, they super romanticized him. Yes. They made him the perfect boy. They Hollywood wouldn't.
Oh, he wasn't perfect, but they made him irresistible.
He wasn't perfect, but he was pretty damn close.
He was very sweet and like, oh, okay, Peter, you can do the dumb shit because you're irresistible. Right.
You know, from the beginning, in the book, he wasn't that perfect. And I almost kind of liked it. Like, the one example that really sticks out in my brain, in the movie, he has his Jeep and it's perfect. And, you know, the little sister Kitty can ride in the back seat and it's totally fine. But in the book, there was this whole thing where he has a 2-seater. And so when he has to drive Kitty for the first time, she has to sit in Laura Jean's lap. But then after that, he starts driving his mother's minivan so he can safely drive Kitty around. Like that, It was humanizing in a way that Hollywood would never.
I agree with that part, but for enjoyment purposes, I like the movie version of him better.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, no, we're going to get into that later. Yeah, but that was just kind of like one of the things as I was comparing them. I was like, okay, so he's messy and imperfect and more realistic in the book, whereas the movie just makes him really perfect. And
he's a turn off in the book. I honestly had a hard time understanding what Laura Jean liked about him in the book. I'm reading it and I'm like, he sounds shitty.
She just likes that he's hot.
I guess, because I'm like, there's nothing. I'm like, I wrote some notes. I didn't even bring them in here, but I'm like, oh, why is he saying this? Why is he doing this? Why he seems so dumb? Like, I just had a problem with them in the book.
My problem was with Josh.
Oh, I had a problem
with the book and the movie. I just wanted to reach over and strangle that boy.
I had a problem with him too. Like, all the boys I had a problem with. I just,
except Lucas,
and that's not cute to me. But everyone seemed to love this book like they were meant for each other. But okay, so this is hard for me to like not jump into the next book because I started the next book. I wasn't going to, but I was mad about how the first book ended. So I'm like, that's not what happened in the movie. So I wanted more. And so they smashed the beginning of the second book into the movie. That's what happened.
That's
so
good.
In the second book, Peter's character is a lot more likable. I think the author decided she made a choice to make him more likable in the second book. It's not like he did a 180, but there are things about his character that are notably different from the first book. His personality.
Okay.
So
that's good to know. That's good to know.
Yeah, and Josh kind of too. Josh isn't as abrasive.
That's good, because he was such a little bitch. Oh my God.
Whiny boo-hoo, wah, wah.
Yeah, no, I would have smacked him.
Yeah, no.
The book itself, if you skip the first 25-30% and actually like start getting into it, it's cute. It's not the best book. It's not the worst book. It's very, very slow. Like throughout the entire thing, it's very slow, but it's cute.
Yes. And I think also in the book, like, her feelings for Josh were different than her feelings in the movie, if I remember. Mm-hmm. Like, it felt very real, like right now.
Yes.
In the book.
Yes. Yeah, no, in the book, Laura Jean is a bit more, what's the word? I don't know. Laura Jean's just different in the book.
Yeah, she's a lot more silly, maybe a little childish in the book.
Definitely childish.
She reads more immature in the book.
Mm-hmm.
To me. And like I said, the romance just wasn't there for me in the book. So I don't know. I had so many problems with this book, y'all. I wouldn't have watched the movie. I would have been like, this is gonna be trash because they gonna make it worse. But they didn't.
No, whoever the screenwriter is, he needs like all of the accolades and a giant cake. Like, because they tightened that up. They definitely Hollywooded it and made it more, movie sweet. Mm-hmm. It wasn't as messy as the book, but it was great. The movie was fantastic.
It was fantastic. And this is one of the very rare times where the movie is better.
Yes.
And if you haven't read the book, skip it. Don't even bother. In my opinion, it's a little, okay. I don't think.
I would suggest it to teenagers because I feel like teenagers would really get invested in it. Mm-hmm. But if you're not a teenager, skip it. Definitely skip it.
Skip it. Because, I mean, it wasn't even like, oh, it's cute. Oh, it's sweet. It was like, it's okay. I felt, when I got to the end of the book, I'm like, it was okay. That's what I felt.
Yeah. No, it had its moments.
Yeah.
And like I'm glad I read the book so I know what it's there, but also like if I wasn't reading for the podcast, I definitely would have quit and put it down at like the 10% mark when nothing had happened.
Yeah.
I think Margot was still home at the 10% mark. And I was like, why?
Yeah.
But I can absolutely say with certainty that Jenny has sisters because the way she wrote the three sisters was so accurate. I'm the middle sister, so I probably would have enjoyed this as a teenager.
Because, I'm the oldest sister out of three, and I still think that What's-Her-Face was just too much.
Oh, she was so much. She was so.
Margot was just the most, and I'm like, I mean, older sisters are bossy, but not like that.
She was bossy and controlling and kind of manipulative.
Yeah.
And like, was she really setting up dates with Josh or was he making that up? Like, I couldn't tell what was true between them. And that was creepy and weird and another reason to hate Josh and Margot.
Yeah, definitely. Like, Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I guess the banter was good between them, between Laura Jean and Peter. And I keep coming back to them because I feel like they're the heart of the story. It's their story.
It is.
Everybody
It
else kind
is.
of just flies around them in their circle,
Mhm.
but I don't know.
No, it's
I'm,
definitely their story. And they were cute
yeah.
together. Like they had their moments. There are other annoying moments, but they had their moments together. And no, it was just if she cut down the
Did you
beginning, if she did some other stuff, the book would have
let,
been
let me ask you,
enjoyable.
did you have a picture in your mind about what Laura Jean and Peter looked like from the book?
Not really. Like I just
Uh-huh.
kind of pictured an Asian American girl and then you know, hot YA boy.
Okay. So nothing like, because some books, you have a distinct feeling in your mind what this person looks like.
Mm-hmm.
You could go and point him out on a page.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he looks like. I didn't feel that for any of these characters. They were all kind of blah. Like, obviously we know she's half Asian. That's a prevalent part of this story,
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, I there was
I
nothing.
knew more about her clothes and what her clothes looked like than what her
Mhm.
father looked like. I
Yeah,
mean, yeah, he was an old white guy, so I can picture my dad. But
yeah.
like, yeah, no, it was the detail went into the clothes or not the faces.
But that doesn't make, I don't know. You're the romance lady. I like it, but
So,
it's not my go-to, right? But when I do read it, I want to feel invested in a couple, and I feel like every book or series that I just fawn over, I can visualize those characters in my
mhm.
mind.
So writers are very weird when I say this as a writer myself, so nobody come for me. Um, some writers love to like give every microscopic detail of their characters, and some writers hate it. They say they just want the reader to imagine whoever, and so they give you like almost a blank canvas and say,
Hmm.
here's your heroine, here's your hero, you get to pick if he has black hair or blonde hair, or like they'll give some very basics. But
I
I
hear what you're
personally
saying.
like descriptions.
Yeah, I don't like
But
to
I
work that
know,
hard. Why do I have to imagine it?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
your
no,
world.
I'm
It's
with
your
you.
story. Tell me what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just a nitpick. Just a nitpick. And because
No,
of
it's very
that,
valid.
and because I couldn't visualize these characters, I just put the actors that I in their place. I'm like, I'll just see Laura Condor and Noah Centineo in my
Mm-hmm.
mind, and I'll see all the other Janelle Parrish and all the other people that I know from the screen in these places, and it made it more digestible because I got frustrated with not really knowing what they look like. So I just dropped in the characters that I already knew.
Yeah.
Yeah, which isn't good because again, that would have frustrated me if I hadn't already seen the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I would have been like, "What? Oh, it's dull, it's boring." Those things make it more bland to me for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the reasons I think this book came out okay to me is because I had some other. I'm sure, like if I had to rate the book, I would
Uh-huh.
give it a 3 out of 5. But if I
Yeah.
had to imagine what my experience would have been without seeing the movie first, it would have
Mm-hmm.
been lower.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So what you end up rating it on
So
Goodreads?
I gave it a 3 out of 5 too.
Yeah.
Like the beginning was so slow, and it
Mhm.
had its moments. And I honestly think if I was 16 years old reading it, I probably would have given it a 4 star. Like I think I may have enjoyed it more at
Mhm.
16 because you're hormonal and angsty and like, oh my God, yes.
Yeah.
But I can't now. So I'm like, no, definitely 3 stars.
Definitely 3 stars. And that's generous, like I said. It would have been lower. But I didn't want to...
Yeah, no, if I didn't have to read for the podcast, I would have quit and given it a 1 star because I'd be like, I'm 20% of the way into the book and nothing has happened. I give up 1 star. But I'm kind of glad I stuck it out. And like I said, there were cute moments in the book that were all in the book. Like when they went antique shopping to get the chairs. That was cute.
That was cute.
That wasn't in the movie.
No, it wasn't.
And I'm kind of glad I got to see that. But also, like, it was a lot to get through to get there.
Yeah.
So 3 stars.
That was cute. Yeah, that was a cute. They did have some cute interludes. Jenny Han did write some cute interludes. I'll give her that. But not enough to win me over. I know. And I'm telling you, and I think I told you in the text, I don't know, maybe I didn't tell you, but I definitely wouldn't have read the next book. The only thing was that I was not satisfied with that ending. And I'm like, wait a minute, because I knew the ending was different. So I'm like, I want to see where the ending actually is, what actually happened. So even the whole letter thing happened differently. So you know how she marches on the field in the movie and has the letter in her hand? In the book.
It's so Hollywood. It's so perfectly Hollywood.
Well, in the book, it's like New Year's Day. She's still in her Korean getup, from her family event. So the timing is different as well. So it's New Year's Day. And she wants to try to see what he's about before they go back to school. So she has her dad drop her off on his porch. And that scene was hilarious. So she puts the thing. So he kind of has an attitude with her. And she's like, I should give him this letter. Man, why he acting like he's not even happy to see me. I'm like, girl, stop acting like a brat. So she puts the letter away. They have this little back and forth that is like, what the fuck? And then she goes to like move and he sees like, what's in your pocket? Nothing. What's in your pocket? Nothing. And they wrestle for the letter. And then he yanks it, reads the letter, and he's like, why weren't you going to give me the letter? So it was like, okay, y'all, okay. So it was fun, but very different, right?
Yes.
So that was actually, that's why I said book 2 is better than book 1. It 100% is. But I'm not sure I'm going to finish it now that I'm not sure I'm going to finish it though. Like, I got to 40% and I'm like, okay, now we're getting into movie 2. So I'm going to cut it off here. I'm just going to stop because
You've seen all 3 movies?
I have. I did because I like the movies. I saw all of those movies. And about the movies, I really love the music. The music picks in the movie.
Music is so good.
Isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the casting was good. The music is good. I like that Margot is very, very small in the first movie. We barely see her. I actually liked that they aged up Kitty a little bit and made her 11 instead of 9. That was cuter. Although,
it was.
You can't stay mad at a 9-year-old for mailing your love letters. And I would definitely kill an 11-year-old.
That scene was better in the movie, too. I mean, she's like, your face is going to be in the wrong place. She was trying to cover her. I'm like, oh, my God.
Yeah, that was super cute.
Yeah. I mean, I felt the family vibes in the movie, like.
I loved Laura Jean's room. I loved that blue wall with the flowers painted on it and how everything is just a mess. And I'm like, oh, yes. No, I would have loved this as a teenager. Like, that's the room I wanted as a teenager.
I mean, her style is so eclectic and, like, unique. And I love that about her. Like, even that scene with the boots. I'm like, oh, those are cute boots. Why are you hating on that girl? You jealous?
I know.
And your Uggs.
She was absolutely jealous.
Yeah, she has a cute style. And it's like, I like a lot of things about that character in the movie. She's like young, so she's doing the young angsty thing, but it's not like obnoxiously so.
Yes, and bordered on obnoxious in the book a bit.
Yeah. So, what did you think about the hot tub scene?
I really like in the movie how he stands up for her like in the middle of the hallway and yells at everybody, and he didn't do that in the book. I don't know. Like, it was cute. It was kind of sexy. It wasn't.
It was cute. I'm like, you know what? Honestly, I'm like, can I get a hot tub scene when I was a teenager? How can I get one as a fucking adult? Can I get a hot tub scene?
Yeah.
Lord. It was cute.
It'd be nice to get one as an adult.
I know. Can I get one? I mean, we wouldn't be doing anything because it's a hot tub, but you know, a little makeout session in the hot tub. Yeah. That's fun.
There's some hygiene rules that you have to follow in a hot tub.
Right.
Yeah.
That's cute. I liked it. I'm like, there was so much I liked about that movie. Like, it was just, like I said, I've seen that movie like 3 times. And I'll probably watch it again. I'm not going to lie. I don't know when, maybe next year or when the mood strikes, but I'll probably watch it again.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a really cute rom-com that I almost wish became as famous as 16 Candles, but also, like, I know it'll never hit that big. But it's still that kind of cute, nostalgic. Yeah, maybe next year I'll sit down and watch it again.
Yeah. It's very cute, especially for like Valentine's Day watching. You could actually watch all 3 movies in a row, like, and binge them. They're really good. They stay consistent through the movies, like as far as like music choice and staying consistent to the way that they film them. Although I do think the first one is probably the best one. The second one was pretty good too. The third one, it was fine, but yeah, definitely. I definitely recommend them. They're fun for the holiday because by the time this goes up, it won't quite be Valentine's Day yet, but it will be in a few days.
Yeah.
So you guys, these are the recommendations. Check it out. Let's see. So this goes up on the 9th.
Valentine's plenty of time to watch.
Yeah, Valentine's Day is the next Monday. So you got all weekend, y'all. Y'all can binge this on the weekend with some wine, some chocolate-covered strawberries, some popcorn.
Yes. Perfect Valentine's Day.
Yeah. You know, though, actually, now that I think about it, I feel like we usually spend a lot more time breaking down a book. But I feel like this book was so basic. There wasn't, like, we didn't need to spend an hour talking about it.
No, it's so mundane. That's the word. It's mundane. It's, okay, so here she is driving around. Here she is grocery shopping. Here she is making dinner for the 3rd time this week. Oh no, she forgot to defrost the chicken, so she's buying pizza. Oh no, like, it was just so mundane. And I know why some people enjoy that, because, you know, you want to see happy life. You want to see the mundane, and I get that. But also at the same time, I was just bored out of my mind.
Yes. And maybe that's why I
like it's well written. It's not trash. It's not awful. Like, I wouldn't want to change her voice too much. I would just want to condense and cut. As an editor, I'd be like, all right, no, the letters need to get sent out much sooner. There needs to be a little more tension. Let's, cut out this week's dinner.
I think what I'm about to say could be controversial, but I do think this. So sometimes you can be a great writer, but the story doesn't hit, right?
Yep.
And I've read books that I've enjoyed immensely because the story was popping. I love a good plot. I love characters that I am drawn to, but the writing could have been cleaned up. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Found some errors. The writing wasn't as tight, as neat. as it could have been. So I wouldn't say that person was an excellent writer, but they told a damn good story.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Oh, absolutely. As an editor, I see it all. I see the not so good authors who need to work on learning how to write, but they have damn good stories. And I see the authors who can write an amazing story, but they just don't have the story skills yet. Like, there's a whole spectrum. And Jenny Han definitely knows how to write. She is a great writer. The story is just not very tight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It is cute. And I agree with you. I think younger people probably wouldn't notice that. They would just think, oh, young hot football guy, yay, you know.
Oh, yeah. No, when I was 15 and 16 and going through all of the angst, and I was the middle sister, and my older sister, I say this lovingly, she was a bitch, you know, and my little sister, another bitch. Like, I would have enjoyed that aspect of the story. I would have been like, oh my God, all these boys, should I write love letters? I really like that Peter wrote all those love letters. Like, that was actually adorable.
It was cute.
Yeah.
Even though he only did it to make Jen mad. He didn't do it.
Yeah, but he did everything to make Jen mad and then realized that he liked doing it. But yeah, no, like there were things about this book that I would have enjoyed a lot more and would have related to a lot more as a 15 or 16-year-old girl. Now that I'm not a teenager anymore, I'm like, all right, let's cut this down. Now that I'm an editor, I'm like, I know how the story beats need to go. This isn't working for me.
Absolutely.
So yeah, no, I would have liked it as a teenager. And so I might actually recommend this book to teenagers, but I don't think I'd recommend it to my friends.
Oh, definitely.
Unless they say they want something really slow and light and, you know, very mundane and real lifey, then I'll be like, okay, if you want a lot of real life, you might enjoy this.
Yeah, that mundane life.
If you want vampires, let me introduce you
girl,
to
right?
Board.
Look, that's why I love paranormal romance, because give me the fire, give me something crazy going on too, not just you cooking dinner. I mean,
no, I like action. I like things happening. I want more than just, oh, let's defrost the chicken for dinner tonight. Oops, forgot about that. Let's order pizza. Like, no, that's me on a Monday night. I don't want to read about it.
Like, my life is mundane. So I read for escapism. So I want something I can't get every day in my reading.
Exactly. So, and I think that's why we enjoy so many of the same books, because we want the same thing.
Yeah. But I guess maybe to a teenager, they haven't really lived life yet. So they don't know on the other side of that fence, shit's boring. So you become an adult and life is life. So they think this is fun. So more power to them. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. The angst, the teenage hormones. Yeah, I can see why teenagers would love this, but as an adult, no, pass. I might go start book 2 just to read that scene, because that scene sounds super cute. Like, it was very cute in the movie, but if they're tussling over a letter, like, that sounds adorable.
Like, because did the fight happen in the first book? Because I lost track now that I started the second book. They had like the little event at their house and Josh and Peter got into it. Okay, that did happen in the first book. Okay, because I'm like,
first book.
Okay. I see, said the blind man. I'm like, because you know, when you continue on, like, I should have made a couple of notes of how it ended, because now it got kind of blurred. I'm like, oh man.
Well, it was mostly just, you know, Margot wanted to throw that party and Laura Jean didn't. But Kitty invited Peter over and he showed up, and then Josh showed up and they had to fight. And then they said that Peter said, you know, if you kiss my girlfriend again, I'll beat you up. And that's when Margot was like, what? And then the sisters had to fight. And
actually, I'm glad in the movie they did not kiss or anything. Like, I didn't like that. Like,
again, that made Josh so much worse in the book. Like, I didn't like him in the movie, but he wasn't as bad in the book. Oh God. No. Yeah. And the fact that he told Laura Jean in the beginning, like, oh yeah, no, I liked you first before your sister, but then I started dating your sister. And then he gets the letter, and no, I did not like him at all.
In the movie, it's alluded that maybe he might have had something for her back in the day, maybe, but he doesn't say it. But he does.
Well, he says it to her early on, and I was like, yeah. It's like, oh, I liked you first, but then I dated your sister for 2 years. I'm like, this is somebody with a sister. No.
Yeah, I don't remember that in the movie. I just remember, like, at the end when he finally was able to hunt her ass down because she was avoiding him like the plague. Mm-hmm. When he finally talked to her, he was kind of like, look, I just got this letter. Basically, I need to dissect it. Like, why didn't you just say that it was old and this and that, He didn't say he was outright confused about his feelings toward her. I think he was just shocked and didn't know, he wanted to talk about it with his friend. He didn't want to, like, jump her bones or anything. So... And that's what felt different versus the other.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't like him. I just didn't like him at all.
Okay, so you didn't like him in the book. And did you also not like him because of the actor? Or did you still not like him?
The actor was just not pretty at all. But I didn't like his character. He felt very whiny. He felt like there was no evidence of this, but he felt kind of manipulative to me. I don't know. Like, his whole personality, his character, the actor, everything just rubbed me the wrong way. And I was like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah, he definitely got kind of, why do you like him? He said, like, stay out of it. Like, dude, take a seat somewhere.
The fact that Peter cheated on a quiz in Spanish class or whatever in, like, the 7th grade, and that's what Josh keeps bringing up, is like, oh, he's a cheater. He's so bad. Like, have you never cheated on a quiz?
According to him,
cheated
no.
on quizzes in high school.
Well, let him tell it. No, he's perfect. He never cheated.
Yeah, no, like that was one of the things that I just didn't like about Josh was, oh yeah, no, he cheated once.
Like, so
it's fucking high school or middle school,
7th
grade.
Like, what are we talking about here?
Yes, it's like he had to dig up old dirt on Peter just to be like, oh yeah, no, he's not a good guy. I'm like, no, this makes you look bad.
It's kind of like he wanted to just keep the song girls to himself. He had like a ready-made family right there. He clearly wasn't happy with his own life, so he spent all his time over there with them, and Peter is disrupting that.
Was it in the book or the movie where Laura Jean says accuses him of being jealous that Kitty likes Peter more? I think that was the book.
It was the book.
Yeah.
That was the book.
And I mean, yeah, no, it's very true. Like, he had all 3 song girls. Yeah. And then they moved on to Peter, and he got really upset.
Which is life. Move on, man.
It's life. It is. Yeah. No, it sucks that your parents fight all the time, but you don't get to sleep with the older sister and then string the middle sister along and, like, be best friends with the little sister. Like, no.
Honestly, I wish in the movie they had picked better for Josh. Like, I think I wanted someone a lot cuter than him. Unless they didn't really want to acknowledge the triangle. So they made him like a non-option option. You know what I mean?
I think that's what they decided to do with the movie because, by the end of the book, she's like, no, I'm completely over him. There are no feelings here.
Yeah.
And so they wanted to make sure that the viewers knew he was not an option because when there are options, all the guys are hot. They're like stupidly hot in Hollywood. And I don't think he was ever an option. And so they wanted to make that abundantly clear by picking a very
non-attractive
guy.
Because she says basically, or, she essentially leads to the point where, yeah, she did have a crush on Josh. And yeah, she did think about him like that, but she would never do anything with him because of Margot. So even if she had some lingering something, she would never act on it because she's not going to betray her sister, period. So he's not an option.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, which is great. That's what sisters do.
Yeah, definitely don't be kissing my ex. Don't be doing that, girl. But in the book, I would have defended myself. In the book, I'd be like, he kissed me. I didn't kiss him. I didn't know he was going to do it. I would have defended myself. Like, I didn't do it.
He did it first. I didn't want it. I pushed him off. It lasted all of 3 seconds. It is never going to happen again. It is dead. I don't want him.
Right. Yeah. I would have been very clear that was not me stabbing you in the back. But she didn't really do that, really, in the book.
No.
She kind of let her make some assumptions. Mended. Yeah.
Yeah. Still.
Yeah. I don't know. It's fun. It's a fun story.
It's fun. It's cute.
Yeah.
Again, I would recommend it to teenagers, but I don't know if I'd recommend it to anybody else. Unless you want that happy, mundane thing. And if you do, good for you. Go for it. Enjoy it.
Yeah, definitely. But definitely watch the movie. So tell us if you've read the book. I want to know how many of you read the book and did not watch the movie. If you haven't watched the movie and you read the book, I want to know what you felt about the book, because that's going to be, I think, the unique point of view. Is if you loved or hated the book and did not see its adaptation. That's going to be the standout. So come on into Facebook, Shelf Addiction Official over on Facebook, and tell us all the things,
Yes. And then mark the X off on your bingo card.
Yes.
And join us in bingo. Win $25 gift card to a bookstore so you can go buy more books. Come on, guys.
Yeah, I was tagged the other day with a bingo card. Did you see that tag?
I did.
Yes.
She's got like 4 or 5 boxes marked off. She's about to get the whole damn card done.
I know. She's going to have like 1 million entries to get that. So y'all got to catch up. If you're reading these books with us, do a post. Do a post on Instagram or Twitter.
Facebook, Twitter. I'm never really on Twitter, so if you tag me, I won't see it. But, tag us. We want to see. We want to read with you. You read with us, or whatever the right phrasing is, because I can't speak right now.
Yeah, so tag me at Shelf Addiction. And Casey, what's yours on Instagram?
On Instagram, I'm at Casey_heartful of ink.
Yes. And then, of course, throw in that hashtag Shelf Addiction Bingo 22. Throw it in and we can find it. So, look, here's another one. Now that I looked up the hashtag. I'm like, so y'all use it. Go ahead, do it. And if you've read any of the books with us starting last month, you can check these off. You can go check them off, and you just have to do a post so we can see it. So do it.
And then fill out the Google form and say, hey, I'm reading. I want to win some money so I can buy more books. And
right.
Like, yay!
Feed that shelf addiction. You want to.
Yes, exactly.
All right. I don't know. Do you think we need to talk about anything else? Did we hit everything important or more things?
Let's rate the movie.
Oh, yeah. Let's rate the movie.
Stars. What are you rating the movie?
I rate the movie 5 out of 5.
Wow. I give it a 4 out of 5. Like, it was super cute and I really enjoyed it. I'll probably watch it again sometime, but it wasn't like my absolute favorite of all time. But definitely like 4 out of 5. Okay. Will recommend to all of my friends.
Yeah. I gave 5 out of 5 because I'm not the one that will rewatch the same movie a ton of times. That's not normally something I would do. But the fact that I've watched that movie as many times as I have, and I've added some songs from that movie into my
awesome.
Because I have a movie and TV adaptation playlist.
Ooh.
So I've added a couple of songs into that playlist. So I mean, I get all the feels from it. So I'm like, it's adorable. So 5 for me. And that just is very rare. I don't be watching stuff over and over like that. The only exception is, and I stopped this several years ago because it's kind of worn off. But when the first Transformers movie came out, I watched that mug like 6 times out of nostalgia. So that's it.
Oh, yeah, no, I rewatch movies and TV shows all the time. But this one's cute, and I'll definitely rewatch it. I just don't. And I will watch the next 2 movies. I'm not sure if I'll read the next 2 books, but I'll definitely watch the next 2 movies.
Actually, I might watch. I have a ton of things to watch. I really do. And I'm like, should I watch those movies or should I watch the stuff that I need to be watching that's on right now? Those movies are going to be there forever. I don't have to watch them right now, but
that's true. That's true. But sometimes you need that comfort. Maybe Valentine's Day will inspire you to watch movie 2 at least.
I kind of hate Valentine's Day. I kind of hate it a little bit. Not going to lie. I think it's like, if you feel a way about me and you want to romance me, you should do it all year long.
Oh yeah, no, I have feelings about it too, but I celebrate by myself because I'm almost always single, and so I treat yourself extra on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, I do that too. I mentioned chocolate covered strawberries. I love them. I get those like on my own. I'll go find them. There's a new bakery near me that has them for Valentine's Day. I'm about to go get some.
Yes, definitely.
My favorite. I only have it like one time a year. That's it. So good. With some champagne from the fridge.
That sounds amazing.
Like such a luxurious snack, right?
Yes, but it's fun.
Absolutely. Okay, well, you guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. Hope you enjoyed the episode. As always, you can see the video version of this right now on Patreon. So if you're interested in that, you want to head on over and sign up. So we will end things there, and we will see you next time. Until then, take care. Bye-bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
If you enjoyed today's episode and would like to show your support, there are a few things you can do. Head on over to Apple Podcasts and leave a positive 5-star review, or like this episode on your favorite podcast player. It seems so simple, but it really helps me out. You can share this podcast with other book nerd friends or on your favorite social media space. You can also join the Shelf Addiction Patreon family. For as little as $2 a month, you will help us produce even more awesome content for your ears. You can also consider joining the Shelf Addiction Official Facebook group, where we talk all things bookish and more in a safe space. The Shelf Addiction Podcast is a part of the Nerdy Maven Network. You can also reach us via email at info@shelfaddiction.com. Thank you for listening.